Hey everybody out there in YouTube world, my name is Old School Nerd and it is Saturday. And this is our second reaction today. The first one was Arch Enemy, which apparently I took so long to actually get around to doing that I thought people were going to revolt against me and throw shit at my house. This is why I don't tell you guys where I live, okay? Well, for the second reaction today, we're gonna do another band that if I don't do today, I'm pretty sure if you guys knew where I lived, there would be pitchforks and torches in my front yard. And it's Meshuggah. Everyone has been going off in the last 2.5 months about Old School Nerd, you got to do a reaction of Meshuggah. If you don't do a reaction of Meshuggah, then you're missing out. I did a reaction to Tool, and where I did Danny Carey's drumming video, and they're like, "Oh, you got to do the one from Tomas from Meshuggah. He's way better than Danny Carey." And oh, you comment all the time about Vlad from Ginger and his drumming, but you haven't done Meshuggah and Tomas. I'm like, guys. Nobody's asked me to do any Meshuggah videos to react to. When I see a drummer, I react to the drummer, and that's great. Okay? It's gonna be okay. We're here now. It's fine. No, I've been hearing a lot of things about Meshuggah. A lot of people, when it was about a month or so ago, I did some reactions where I talked a lot about some of my favorite drummers. And I actually had quite a few comments that said that if I don't list the drummer for Meshuggah as one of the best drummers, then I have no idea what I'm talking about. Like, dude, the best of a certain person is a highly subjective term. There are people that don't like John Bonham. I love John Bonham. There's a lot of people that, don't like Neil Peart, and I think he's amazing. There's a lot of people that, believe that, Tommy Lee's a shit drummer, and that's not true at all. Some people think Danny Carey isn't a very good drummer, and they're just flat out wrong. I mean, it's subjective. But I've never heard Tomas drum. So if I've never heard Tomas drum, how can I put him on the list of my favorite drummers? Well, let's do that. Let's put him in the mix. Let me see him. Let me hear him drum, and we'll see where he rates. For me, remember, guys, it's subjective. I've never heard the guy drum before. You can't give me shit that I don't mention him. That's like me saying, hey, that would literally be like me saying, I can't believe you guys have never tried, oh God, Mr. G's chicken grilled sandwich in Duckham, Louisiana. Everybody's like, what the hell is that? Exactly. You've never had it. How can you tell me if it's good or not? So here we go. This one is a long time coming. Here is the drum camera view of the song Bleed. Tomas, the drummer of Meshuggah, is going to kind of do a Danny Carey drum cam thing. So I'm really looking forward to it because not only do I get to check out the song Bleed by Meshuggah, but I get to watch a drum cam of their drummer. Everybody wins. Nobody loses here. Okay, so with that, my name is Old School Nerd. Welcome to the channel. If you like the video, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Let us know what you want. Hey, I know it took me a while to get here. I'm sorry. But, it takes time to get to all this stuff, man. When I tell you that the list of requests that I get every day is like, it's chaotic, man. Apparently there's a lot of amazing music I've missed, so we're gonna have to get on it. So let's start here. This is Meshuggah, Bleed. This is a drum cam of Tomas playing Bleed, and everyone that I talk to is like, oh, he's again greatest. We've been through this with Tomas, okay? Okay. So when you say greatest drummer of all time, remember, let's see. I don't know. Let me find out. Meshuggah, Bleed. It's a drum cam of Tomas. Here we go.
Ray, are you fucking ready?
I've been ready, dude. Okay, this dude's set is awesome. This is like it's similar to Ivan's set from Ginger in the fact that it's not huge and surrounding him. It's very tight. Look how close his legs and his floor toms are to his body. All of his cymbals are layered. Look how closely layered they are. He has a standard hi-hat right here, but he also has one on the right, okay? So that way if he plays open hand. Here's the best part. Look how layered over the top his cymbals are. That tells you two things. Either it's more about the precision and the sound than the show. He's not wailing around like Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee is a great drummer as a performance drummer, right? Because he'll get into a cage and flip upside down, and it's all about flipping sticks, and it's as much visual as it is the music itself. When a drummer has a set like this, he or she is doing business. That's my first impression. This guy is here to work. So let's watch him do what he does. Now, so far, he has done nothing but the same thing the whole way. Now, before you think that's a critique or a downside, no, it's not. Most of the time when you're dealing with drummers, you're talking about the fact that for a drummer, you usually keep a count where you're keeping the downbeat, which is either a 1 or a 3. And your 1 or your 3 is usually your snare hit or your kick drum hit. And then your hi-hat or your ride is usually your quarter note. And then you hit, you're running the 1 and the 3, the downbeat and the middle beat, alternating between your snare and your kick drum. Now, that is basic 4-count drumming. That is absolutely not what he is doing here. It's a 4-count that he's doing, but instead of the downbeat being the the snare and the kick, he's reversed it, right? So his feet are da, 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 and it's not da 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 da. No, it's da 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 da. It's like he's literally flipping it, and then so that is what a normal person would be doing with their hi-hat. He's reversed it. So his feet are doing the job of that accent tap you would see on a hi-hat. And he's reversed it to where the cymbal hit is at down, and he's doing shadow taps on the snare and then dropping the alternating count. Now, that's a complete reversal of what a traditional 4-count cross-handed. Let's just say you put Ringo Starr standing behind this guy, Ringo's gonna have a stroke. Okay. Is he Neil Peart? In a way, yes. In a way, no. He's precise as hell, just like Neil, okay? But the type of music they're playing requires a control that most people only have with their hands. Apparently, Tomas is as good with his feet as most of us are with our hands. If you remember when we did Unleash the Archers Awakening, when the drummer for the Archers wasn't just doing double bass or triple bass or he was doing dun, 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 dun. He was carrying the beat in a rotating, and he was sliding it, and you could see that the heads were just popping. It was giving a rhythm, not just up down. It was part of the rhythm. That's what Tomas is doing, and holy crap! To do that as a drummer, if I was to take my kit out and set it up. Okay, double bass, double iron cobras, full setup and stuff. To even attempt what he's doing, I'd have to completely learn the way I drum completely over. Because in my mind, to hold the beat, I'm thinking about my kicks being the 1 and the 3, or the 3 and the 6, or the 4 and the 3, and I'm trying to, accent and keep that lower end, whereas you keep your speed tempo with your hi-hat or your ride, and he's doing it in reverse. And a lot of drummers can do that, but it takes a lot of practice and a lot of skill to be able to reverse the entire way you view rhythm. I almost talked myself into a circle. That's how much that thing impressed me. Okay, let me take a deep breath. Let's get back into it. Hopefully I don't get dizzy and pass out. Okay, I have to stop it. And I know y'all are going to get pissed that I'm stopping it. But those of you who are wanting me to react to this are stopping, because you're probably laughing your asses off because you realize that I just caught what I was hearing. I had to close my eyes for a second. Okay? We talk about click tracks. We talk about keeping a precise beat and being a metronome for the band and stuff. The speed upon which those pedal hits are going is hard to do consciously. You almost have to do it with muscle memory. And if you close your eyes, it almost sounds like it's a machine doing it. He's that good with his feet. At the same time, he has a layering in the rhythms with his hands. It's quite impressive. When you go back and watch the Danny Carey video, and go back and watch the Tool Danny Carey Numa Drumcam, Danny's doing this more of a playing by feel, and this, he can hear it, and he's doing this dance in his head, right? And if you ever go see, there's a Netflix Behind the Lighted Stage. It's the Rush documentary about their career. And Neil Peart talks about how halfway through his career, he left behind the click tracks and trying to be precise to see how much he can get between 1 and 2. And then he decided to go and spend time with different drummers and playing, Buddy Rich tributes and stuff, because he wanted to get back into the feel of music. Danny Carey from Tool is a feel drummer. It's why he's so artistic. It's why all of his stuff flows so much. And he's so syncopated and layered. And Tomas is doing that, and he's doing it with scarily precision timing, that if you're doing it, you can only do, you got to be able to have that with muscle memory. To be able to do it with your feet without muscle memory, I don't see how it doesn't short circuit your brain. Remember Winter Sun, when we did Winter Suns, and Kai, the Nightwish drummer Kai, was playing it, and he was freaking a freight train of speed where I thought he was going to come off the ground. That's what Tomas is doing, but he's doing that shit live. It's so fast, it's almost hard to hear the gaps. You guys are right. This guy is definitely He's talented beyond belief. He's gone back to the original rhythm, but that section there was it was completely syncopated. It was secondary beats and off beats and syncopated rhythms that were not. It wasn't a straight rhythm, and the reason why it works is it's the song. Everyone's on the same page, and if you cut off all the other instruments and the vocals and everything else and just watched them, you'd be like, to an untrained ear that doesn't play drums and doesn't understand counts and rhythms and the structures and layering of rhythms, it would sound chaotic, but it wasn't. It was... That dude got 3 hats, 3 hi-hats. 1, 2, 3. Why do you need 3 hi-hats? I asked the question because I don't know. Obviously, Tomas does. We're not even done. We're not even done. Hold on. If you watch him playing, okay, for those of you, okay, now this is not for the drummers out there. The drummers out there already know, but this is for my daughters. This is for all the people who have come to my channel and they have no idea how the hell this guy's doing this, okay? A pedal for a drum has an arm, okay? And it has a Whipple chain or a Whipple strap that when you push down on the pedal, it pulls the hammer forward, hitting the drum. Normally you would think every time you'd hit the drum, you'd have to push the pedal all the way down. But drummers with practice can learn to know exactly right before where the drum hits and can hold that hammer just off the drum. And if they know exactly what the point is to hit, they can do multiple hits. Here's the problem. You have to know exactly where. You can't look down and see it. You have to feel it. It takes practice. It takes discipline. It takes talent. He takes a lot of those. You notice when Tomas releases his knee and then comes back, that's one hit, but then he's holding his foot over. The knee stays down, and in the process of bringing his knee up, that foot flexes. Okay, so he's bringing his knee down. That's one hit. Knee comes up, but as it's coming back, his toe stays on. The ball of his foot stays on. Flex for 2 or 3 more hits in the motion. So with every motion of his knee, he's able to do 4 hits or 3 hits, depending upon how he wants. And he can do all of that in time. Not it's controlled. He can break it. He can hold it at his own whim. And he can do it with both feet to the exact timing of the song and not get off tempo. Now, as we go to this little break here where the music stops for a little bit or whatever, I want you to wrap your head around that. Do you see it now? Look, there's going to be a lot of videos that we all watch together, whether it be Alex Terrible's band, and that drummer can haul ass, right? We've seen Kai with Winter Suns. He can haul ass too. We're going to see all these mini bands where the drummer, hell, we just did one yesterday for Beneath Atlantis, and Jason from Beneath Atlantis, they're just a band starting out, and he can throw down some bass pedal stuff too. But I know that Jason and a lot of drummers like him and I, and as you know, we can look at someone like Tomas or Neil Peart, or there's all these different drummers that master certain aspects that we want to achieve that level. Tomas is one of those drummers where other drummers will try to look at how he does it to find out how he can do it with such control, with such little effort. But what really astonishes us, and I hope that I hope Jason from Beneath Atlantis hears sees this video, because I'm talking to him specifically because I mentioned in my last reaction to their video was that he did a lot of that in the video in spots where I wouldn't think he would. And a lot of it was because he was putting flutter, rapid taps of the bass kick where the bass player, Richard, wasn't playing notes with him, so it felt like he was out of place. That's also part of the song they were doing. But normally you wouldn't do that. You'd try to get your rhythm section to get together. So in this video, let me tell you that yes, this is very, very hard to do. Tomas is probably one of the best kick drummers I've ever heard of. And it's not how fast he goes. And it's not how long he goes. We can see guys or women that his control and timing is so damn perfect. And while he's doing it, look at him. Doesn't even look like he's trying. That's why we look at him and say, this guy he's the bass kick master. And so we understand that. But hats off, I don't know his name, hats off to the bass player of Meshuggah. Because the only way that Tomas doesn't sound like a fluttering asshat is he has a bass player that is making sure that the tone of the song, the rhythm section of the song, doesn't leave Tomas in the dark. If you're listening, the bass player is with him on all of these hits. That means that they're coordinated. This isn't just by accident. So not only does this show you how amazing Tomas is as a drummer, especially with his kick ability, but it shows you that he's with the right bass player that is willing to go that precise with his playing as well to make sure that Tomas's bass kick, all of his patterns, don't get left without the other half of that rhythm section that makes the sound full, that makes the sound huge, that makes the sound metal. Wrap your head around that, because I can't do that. I can see it. I can understand the arrangement. I can understand the studio layering of it. I can understand how somebody would produce this and write this and how the amount of practice it would take to get to there. And before you guys go, you're talking about Tomas and you're not even a good enough drummer to even... No, I'm not saying I am. I know I'm not. That's why I can go. But I understand what it takes to get to there. I'm just not able to do it. I know I'm talking a lot on this video, but I can't just sit here and do like this. I mean, I could, but I have to enunciate to you what's in my head when I see this. That's what the reaction is about. And my reaction is, I see this guy playing and he reminds me of some of my favorite drummers for the reasons that they are. And right now, to me, Tomas is one of my favorite drummers on the first time I'm hearing him, just because of the amount of control, timing, expertise, and mastery he has at using the bass kick not just as the driving heartbeat of a song, but he makes it melodic. That's not easy. And the only way to make that melodic is to make sure that your bass player can play with you to where you guys aren't left alone and it's not off. You do hear it, right? You hear it. The guitar player's doing his little whatever, but you hear that bass player is with him every kick hit. He's playing with a pick and I mean his hand looks like Roy fucking Clark right now, or he's fluttering through, but the bass player is amazing too. As much as we're watching this and going, Tomas is amazing, he's got one hell of a bass player with him, and they are a freaking massive team. It's so damn good. Fuck that dude. Anyway. Oh my God. Holy crap, you guys are so right about him. Anyway, so here's the funny part. The rhythm section of Meshuggah is so damn good. I have a confession to make. I didn't hear a single word that the singer sang. I ignored the entire rhythm and lead guitar sections of the song. I was so like, I mean, okay. So when they got to the end part, you know, where the lead singer and the guitarist are melting faces, Tomas and the bass player were paralyzing people and liquefying their livers. The bass part was so fast that instead of trying to keep up with the bass kick part, the the cycle was so fast that the bass player then went in and accompanied his notes with the snare. If you can't go the speed of light, you go as quickly as you can, but stay in the pocket of the song. That was insane. That was so damn insane. And I need everyone out there to look at me. I need you to put your fingers in your ears, okay? And this is for Richard and Jason. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not saying that, Jason, you're going to play like Tomas, and Richard, I'm not saying you have to keep up with a guy like Tomas. But the only thing I noticed in your music that I felt that the only thing that felt off to me was the synergy, where when Jason would play something that Richard wasn't playing or accompanying in, it felt like Jason was out on his own. And that pulled me away from the groove of the songs. I'm not saying you guys that Richard has to play faster or Jason has to play slower. What I'm saying is, as a rhythm section, you guys need to, I mean, it needs to be lockstep, you know. Find that dynamic that makes you guys amazing and put a groove in it if you want to. I mean, let's be honest. Go watch some Ginger shit, okay? Those guys don't play fast at all. But Ivan and Eugene, shit, bro. They've got this groove. It's just, yeah. That's the only thing I'm seeing that's different. All right, that was Meshuggah Bleed, the drum cam of Tomas Haake or Haake. That let's be honest. If you're not a drummer, if you're not a percussionist, you're like, oh my God, that was like really, really heavy. If you're a percussionist or a drummer, you're like going, oh my God. And you're like, your shins are hurting and sore just by watching his feet. Drummers know exactly what I just said. You know, the arch of your foot is just got a Charlie horse from watching his feet. Yeah, you get it. All right, that was Meshuggah Bleed, drum cam for Tomas. That was freaking insane. Tomas is wow. Damn. I'm gonna have to listen to more Meshuggah to see if I consider him one of my favorite drummers. But he's one of the most skilled drummers, especially his footwork, that I've seen up close that I can think of. And there are a lot of amazing drummers. Kai, when he plays with Winter Sun, of course, the Rev, rest in peace, he was amazing. There's so many amazing drummers. We just lost Neil Peart, guys, and you know, Neil Peart was never a speed metal drummer. He never was, but he was the king of groove with ridiculous, you know. You talk to people like Danny Carey from Tool, and they talk like Neil Peart was my guy because he was, you know. But then you talk about people that are like Tomas, and they're just like, yeah, I'm taking that, and I'm gonna go that way with it, straight up to the heavens with it, which is something impressive. That is my second reaction of today, and I need a break. I'm gonna go take a nap now. Well, first I'm gonna put some Ben Gay, some Pawpaw Old Muscle Cream on my shins and calves and the arches of my feet, because by watching him, I feel really old, and I was I need to take something because I think my liver was moved by that ridiculous drumming. That was so damn good. Wow.